welcome to our first session, looking through our survey results around what are the key focus areas in 23 for the margin and collateral industry. I'm glad to have Nikki Lawrence from Cloud Margin with me today to go through the results, and I'll pass over to him to give a quick intro from your side. Nikki, over to you.
Thanks, Chetan. Yeah, great to be here. Thank you very much for having me. I certainly saw that poll with great interest, as I think a lot of people at Cloud Margin did, and it was really interesting results. I'm looking forward to discussing those with you. To give a little intro background on myself, my name's Nikki Lawrence. I'm a Director of Technology at Cloud Margin. I sit in our technology leadership team along with our CTO Clinton and another Director of Technology, James. We look after our engineering capability here at Cloud Margin. For some background on Cloud Margin and what we do, we're a full-scale collateral management software as a service platform. We were founded in the sort of aftermath, really, of the financial crisis, and our founders had a vision to leverage modern, nimble technologies to provide a really robust collateral management platform that was very importantly accessible for all market participants. So, you know, we are, as the name suggests, we're a cloud native platform, and that means we can deliver our service without, you know, huge kind of setup and infrastructure costs. So the idea really was to take the safeguards and assurances that a really mature collateral management platform bring for large institutions and bring that for everyone in the industry to reduce risk overall.
No, thank you. I've been seeing how your company has been growing over the years, and you know the problem statement that you set out to solve was really important for the industry, especially when the buy side got injected into the the myriad of regulations that impact collateral, and historically they've been on, or still are, some of them on spreadsheets. So it's great to see how Cloud Margin have helped to remove the need for spreadsheets, but also adapt and connect to a different ecosystem which they wouldn't have had a chance to. So thank you for that, Nikki. What I'll do now is I'll bring up the results, and we can just go through each of those sections of the results and then get your views on what you're seeing from your internal perspective and also from your clients, which is really important today. So first visual. So this is the kind of the overall visual which we presented. So this was a survey we ran on LinkedIn at the beginning of January. And as you can see, there are a number of segments that we will pull out so that the audience here today can see who responded, what were the scores. So we had a number of respondents. And you can see that on the BAU and IT process automation was the winner from that perspective. I think that resonates with a lot of people. We had them split up into different industry types. So here we wanted to show that it's not just banks or DCPs. There's we've got asset managers. We've got a mixture of viewpoints. So it's a good feedback from the industry around what people are focusing on this year. The last 10 years have been regulation. So it's nice to take a breather and now look at removing some of those tactical solutions. And Nikki, from your perspective, when we look at the kind of IT side, does this resonate with you and what you're hearing from your clients and what you're thinking about as part of your strategy the next year, 2 years time?
Yeah, it certainly does. So I really like your point there about, as we're kind of emerging from these regulatory pressures that everyone's been responding to, what are people's priorities looking like in the after we've addressed a lot of that. And yeah, this definitely chimes with us. So what we hear from clients is process automation is a really big driver, and obviously for a platform like Cloud Margin, that's always going to be a big driver of adoption, and something that we it's a huge value add for our clients.
Yeah, and your product is covering multiple assets. Could you just give us a bit of background of the products that you're looking after, and what plans you have in the future for what you're developing at Cloud Margin?
Yeah, sure. So more process automation for sure. So our main, the way that we see Cloud Margin is like a complete post-trade solution really, and we do a lot of we make sure our platform is highly interoperable and composable with other platforms. So data in, data out is a really big part of what we do. We have very robust APIs. That's always been a kind of huge part of our vision for the platform. We really see the value there in clients being able to, leverage multiple systems to compose like the ideal workflow for themselves, and to integrate with their existing systems often. And we also have leading integrations with third parties like Cassini, Acadia, and Swift. We were the first, I think, still only collateral management platform to have a Swift BIC. So we can really, what we see a lot of demand for is people really want to simplify their workflow processes, right through everything post trade is what we look at and what our clients need support with. Obviously, we're in a time of very high volatility. Once again, there's lots of risk out there in the market, and in that context, clients want a really reliable, really complete solution so that they don't have to worry about about what's happening there. And that's something that we found. I mean, I kind of touched at the start saying that we're a cloud native platform. One of the main benefits of that architecture is that it's automatically scalable. So we built it with huge scale in mind, and what we found during these periods of very high volatility is that our number of margin calls has gone up tremendously. Platform stayed incredibly stable. And what we can offer as a SaaS platform is that our big clients and our small clients, they get exactly the same level of service throughout.
Yes, yeah. And are you growing the team as well? You touched on a number of parts of this diagram. You talk about pre-trade and cost analytics, which lots of firms are now looking at that as volumes start to increase. Are you looking to ramp up your developers, your product teams to kind of go into those different areas as well?
There's also, like I say, interoperability and composability are big parts of what we think about continually from an architectural point of view, and that means that we can partner with other providers, who can provide those services as and when.
Yeah, I think it's an important feedback point you mentioned there, because I sometimes see firms trying to do too much, and what you're saying is that you're teaming up with the best in breed technologies in those different areas, which naturally might not be your sweet spot, but there are other firms that are focusing purely in those areas. So that makes sense to me. And with regards to your advice to similar counterparts in organisations, or to your clients, what would your advice be to technology managers working in the margin collateral space for the next couple of years? What do you think they should be listening to, reading, and focusing on, from your perspective?
Yeah, great question. So quality of data is a really big one. It's something that we need to really address as an industry. I think it's going to, I think there will be a lot of advances there over the next few years, and that's going to have a big impact, a big positive impact on everyone's ability to do business like safely and securely and reliably. I think we don't know how much volatility there is going to be in the market at any given point. And I think what we have seen, you know, recently and historically as well, right, is that you just can't make any assumptions on this stuff. So you know, people in similar positions to me, you've got to be thinking about what happens when things really go crazy in the market. You know, is your system stable and reliable, and will it perform really well? We also, in a similar way, you know, we like to sort of challenge our assumptions a lot. So there's a lot going on in collateral management right now, lots of changes happening. And I think historically there's been quite a lot of assumptions baked into technology solutions. And you know, the one thing that we know now is that, you know, this is a massively changing environment over the next few years. So you really want to be thinking about building systems that are as kind of composable and lightweight as possible, minimal assumptions baked in, you know, as agile as possible, and also completely honestly as cost performant as possible as well.
Perfect. No, thank you so much. I know you're a busy man. Appreciate your time. I've really enjoyed talking to you about, you know, the survey. I'm looking forward to see how Cloud Margin grows and expands. And yeah, thank you so much for your time today.
Great. Thanks for your time. I really enjoyed it.